Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions Retold. Episode 12, Fixing Everything, Act 1. In 2009, back when Rika's old house was there, Toka and Mother Takanashi were sobbing in front of Father's coffin. Rika was there too, but she was confused. "So, is Papa dead?" she asked. Toka went over to her and gave her a hug. To Rika, the fact that her father died didn't feel real at all. Rika's heart hadn't caught up to her mind. She believed he'd get better soon back then. She believed up till the morning he died. Toka was hugging Rika when the latter shoved the former off. Toka and her mother were surprised. "Rika?" asked Toka. "I can't." "I don't!" she replied in disbelief. Later, the two sisters and mother were at Father's funeral to say goodbye to him. "This is the last chance to see the deceased on a personal level," said a staff member sadly. "Please reach out to him." There was a photo of Father Takanashi on top of his coffin surrounded by white flowers and candles. The photo had been damaged and had covered the upper half of his face. "Rika, are you okay?" asked Toka. "Yeah, I'm fine," she replied. Rika went up to her father's coffin and reached out. It was very sad and gloomy that day. It was December 2012. Rika was with her mother at Father's grave. Rika felt the tombstone. It felt cold. "Papa," said Rika. "I miss him too," said Mother Takanashi. It had been a while since Rika left Otsushiga. One morning, Yuuta checked his phone to see if Rika texted. She never did since she left. Yuuta was worried. "Good morning, Yuuta," said Kuzuha. "You got a letter, so I put it on your desk." "Thanks," replied Yuuta. Despite being worried, he was also confident in righting his wrongs. Yuuta opened a cabinet to reveal Dekamori's weighted bags. Her sobbing, betrayed voice echoed in his head. "I know that. I know that. I know that. I know that! You're a monster, Dark Flame Master!" But that bad memory didn't stop him. He was determined to apologize to Deko. Yuuta took the bags with him and said bye to Kuzuha and Yumeha. "Bye, Yuuta." "Bye-bye, Dark Flame Master," they replied. Yuuta then went to Rika's apartment and knocked on the door. If someone was there, they weren't answering. Yuuta continued to hope that Rika didn't move away. After all, she did say that she would return to her apartment, right? Yuuta made it to school and asked around about Rika. The only people he didn't ask were Kumin and Dekamori, because the former wasn't there yet, and the latter was to be apologized. Unfortunately, no matter what Yuuta asked about Rika, they all said that they haven't heard from her. Yuuta then went to not Rika's club room and found a blonde-haired girl he had never seen before like this. She had small blue barrettes and ankle-length hair. The girl was undoing the summoning circle's lights on the floor. "Excuse me," said Yuuta. "Hello, upperclassmen," replied the girl happily. "I'm Sandai Dekamori." Oh, dear, thought Yuuta. "What's wrong, Yuuta?" asked Deko. "Nothing. It's just that I've never seen you like this. What's with your hair? How'd it grow back so quickly?" asked Yuuta. "Let's just say I made some wishes. Also, I started to think that pigtails are far too childish," laughed Deko. "Welp, I guess my apology gift is completely useless then," said Yuuta down. "Apology gift? You wanted to apologize for what?" asked Deko. "Are you trying to say you don't remember me ripping your pigtails off when the hate took over me?" "You ripped my pigtails off?" "You must be dreaming," smiled Deko. It's clear that two of her wishes came true. "Upperclassmen?" said Deko. "Why do you keep calling me that?" asked Yuuta, annoyed. "Because you are an upperclassman." "Am I now?" "Can I have those goodie bags?" Dekamori was referring to the bags Yuuta was holding. Sure, knock yourself out. Thank you. You're welcome. What's with this extreme change? Did something happen to you? Dekamori's face became worried. I don't know. One of the wishes she made went too far and altered her character, and you can pin the blame on me if that's the case here. Regardless, Yuta's apology had failed successfully. Suddenly, Ishiki came running into the clubroom. Yuuta! There's something wrong with Kumin! He exclaimed. Ishiki then noticed Dekamori. You look different, he said. Thank you, replied Deko. Yuuta, Ishiki, and Dekamori raced into room 1-4 to find Kumin wearing an eye patch. She was moaning and holding her concealed eye. 2 student girls were near her and wondering what was wrong. Miss Sayuri, is something wrong with your eye? Asked one of them. No, I'm fine, coughed Kumin. Do you have a cold? Asked one of the girls. I hope that's all it is. I'll pull through once I drink this, said Kumin, pulling out a bottle of whatever liquid was in there that does not kill. Kumin drank a few gulps. The student girls got worried. What is that? Asked one of them. Wanna find out? Asked Kumin. Yuuta and Ishiki could hardly believe their eyes. Kumin's lost it, assumed Ishiki. Who does she think she is? A medical pirate? How embarrassing, smirked Deko. Please be quiet, said Yuuta. Then, Kumin went up to the 3 students. So you've come, Dark Flame Master, she said to Yuuta. Please don't say that, he replied, bored. Will you behold my eye? Absolutely not. Yuuta, you don't have to say it so meanly, moaned Kumin. Sorry. In any case, what are you impersonating Rika for? Asked Yuuta. Kumin smiled and said dramatically, I'm not impersonating her. The wicked eye was handed down by the wicked lord. Handed down? Asked Yuuta. Yes, on the eve of the last full moon, I was entrusted by the previous bearer with all the powers of darkness. I am the inheritor of the eye of the wicked lord. You don't need to inherit something like that, exclaimed Ishiki sadly. Such a thing cannot be, continued Kumin. The eye of the wicked lord must continue to live on, so long as there is a dark flame master. Yuuta then made a realization. Is that what Rika said? He asked. Kumin nodded a yes. Suddenly, Dekamori was in awe. I think that's kind of cool. Yes! Her Chunibyo was starting to come back. Later that evening, Yuuta was with Nibutani in the empty club room that used to be Rika's. Cleaned it out in one go, huh? Asked Nibutani. Yeah. Well, come to think of it, it's not like the club really did anything, so what does it matter? Asked Yuuta rhetorically. Anyway, what happened with the drama club? I went and checked it out. I don't know, said Nibutani. What happened? Their president is way too energetic, saying things like, let's make something only we can create, or a new generation brings new possibilities, stuff like that. Yeah, there's always going to be someone like that, agreed Yuuta. It's not that I dislike passion, that's fine, said Nibutani. It's just, when I hear people saying crazy things like that, I think, it's just like Chunibyo. Yuuta was surprised. You mean that's Chunibyo too? He asked. Well, maybe not Chunibyo, but people think things like, I'm alone, I'm different, I'm special. They tell themselves all sorts of things. It's like how you and I changed our identities so that we could fit in with everyone else and live out our high school days as normal students, you know? I guess, replied Yuuta. But even then, we've built up this illusion of what being a normal high school student even means, and we can't even think outside that box, said Nibutani. What are you trying to say? Asked Yuuta. Nothing really, replied Nibutani. But I guess in the end, everybody's trying to be someone else. Wow, Nibutani. That was deep, said Yuuta. No, it's not. You're just shallow, replied Nibutani. Dekamori, holding her weighted bags, was on her way home thinking about how cool Kumin was when she passed a group of students playing basketball. They lost the ball and it was heading toward Deko. "Look out!" But it was too late. The ball bounced off her head and knocked Dekamori unconscious. The students ran over to Deko, laying on the ground. She was dreaming of her past. When she was a little girl, Dekamori would fail to start topics with her friends, but when she was introduced to the world of Marvel Comics, specifically Thor, Dekamori fell in love with its content. Since then, Dekamori would wield the Mjolnir hammer like her idol. That memory made an unconscious Dekamori feel very happy. Yeah, this is who I am. At last, she finally regained consciousness. The students around her were relieved. "Are you okay?" asked one of them. Dekamori suddenly took off her blue barrettes and tied her hair into 2 pigtails. She then tied her weighted bags on their ends and introduced herself. "I am the one who wields the Mjolnir hammer, Sanai Dekamori." She swung her pigtails around. "Rejoice, for I have returned!" The students shrugged and applauded her. Dekamori was finally back, but her friends didn't know this yet. That night, Yuuta was in his apartment with his 2 sisters. Yuuta was feeling something. "What's wrong, Yuuta?" asked Kuzuha. "I don't know," he replied. "Dekamori's a new normal. Kumin's an Eye of a Wicked Lord. Nibutani gave me advice, and I still have no word about or from Rika." "That's a lot to take in," said Kuzuha. "And about Rika, some movers came last night and took all of her belongings." Yuuta was shocked. "Rika," he thought. "No. This can't be real. What the hell? You said you'd come back. You'd only be gone for a little while." "Yuuta, are you okay?" asked Kuzuha, worried. The hate was back and tried to take over Yuuta, but I used my magic to repel it. We've seen enough hate attacks for a while. "I'm fine. I've got a train to catch," said Yuuta, and he raced out the door. "Go, Dark Flame Master, go!" cheered Yumiha, but she had no idea he was out of earshot. Yuuta raced over to Ishiyama Station and asked the ticket person about going to Mihama Fukui. Unfortunately, the ticket person only told Yuuta that the trains would only take him halfway there at this hour. Yuuta was in disbelief. Suddenly, his phone got a message. It was from Rika. It read, "Mama, Grandpa, and Grandma looked very happy. When I said I'd do it, they were so relieved. That's why staying in my hometown was for the best. You think so too, right? Rika." Yuuta went back to his apartment. Kuzuha and Yumeha were in bed. Yuuta realized that in the end, it was all because of him. Yuuta was the one who told Rika to take off her eye patch to give up Chunibyo. Kind of. He then texted Rika, "Okay." Yuuta face-palmed himself. "Fixing everything is harder than it sounds," he said. "No one ever said it was easy," said a voice. "Whoa! Who said that?" exclaimed Yuuta. He looked out the window and saw the green star high in the sky. "You haven't given up yet, have you?" it asked. "No, of course not," replied Yuuta. "If you so badly want your happily ever after, why not read the letter on your desk?" said the green star. Yuuta looked, and there was indeed a letter on his desk. It was black, and Yuuta picked it up, which read, "To my noble friend Yuuta, from Dark Flame Master." Yuuta gasped. It was a letter he wrote to himself back on July 24th, 2010, back when he was the Dark Flame Master. Yuuta opened the black letter and began to read. "Dear future me, when you read this, you may no longer be Dark Flame Master. According to the Mayan calendar, a tide of destruction will engulf the world in 2012, weakening your psychic wavelengths. You may have regressed to a foolish commoner, philosophizing about everything, complying, accepting only that which you can see with your eyes. That is the feeling I now have, hence I wrote this letter. Do not be fooled, Dark Flame Master. You have the power. You are the chosen one selected by the ruler of darkness, the Wicked Lord. You're not just anyone, you're special. Dark Flame Master. You wrote this in middle school to your future self, Yuuta, said the Green Star. What the heck is this? Am I an idiot? Asked Yuuta, smiling. No, you're not, replied the Green Star. There's something else inside the letter. Yuuta looked inside, and there was a gold coin. It's just a token I got from the neighborhood arcade, said Yuuta. It has no power at all, but... He played one round of coin flipping. Yuuta made the choice that if the coin was tails, he would ride his bike from Otsushiga all the way to Mihama Fukui to reunite with Rika that night. If the coin was heads, Yuuta would stay home. So Yuuta flipped the coin and caught it on his backhand. He got tails. Guess there's no helping it, said Yuuta. What about Kumin and Dekamori? No need to worry. Deko's the Mjolnir hammer again, and you'll see Kumin soon enough, said the Green Star. Tell Ishiki to bring Nibatani, Dekamori, and Kumin together to devise a plan to help you. Right, said Yuuta. My happily ever after is so close. I can feel it. Thank you. What's your name? You may call me Hoshi, replied the Green Star. Thanks, Hoshi. Good luck, Yuuta. It was time to fix everything.